Good day, folks. It's Tony Fortunato from the technology firm. Today we're going to go through a quick, really quick Wi-Fi troubleshooting exercise and example right here in the office. Believe it or not, it just, it just happens. You didn't even have to schedule or plan anything. Things just happen. So here we go. So the summary of the problem is pretty simple. Wi-Fi has suddenly become intermittently unstable. It's just literally out of the blue. And so it doesn't matter how close you are to the access point, what SSID you were on, you just get kicked off and then you reconnect, and then sometimes you can't connect. Now, I live in a rural area, so it's not like neighbors are interfering and all that kind of stuff. There's nobody around. When I check the list of SSIDs in Windows, I see a bunch of unidentified SSIDs, these HT_AP5, 6, 7, and so on. I did a quick search with Google and really couldn't find much. So I thought, I think this is a dead end. So the next thing I did was within Windows, I went to the command prompt. I thought, I'm not going to use any fancy tools. I'm going to use stuff that you probably will use. So within Windows, you go to the command prompt. You don't need to be an administrator for this. You just type netsh wlan show networks, mode equals bssid, all one line. I know it looks like two lines there, but it's all one line. And then it'll spit the stuff out. Now, the first thing I noticed was my production SSID called 24 gigahertz. There's the MAC address, right? The BSSID. And these imaginary ones or new ones or unidentified ones or suspicious, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. They all have the same MAC address, obviously the same signal strength, but they're all 2.4 gig. Now, the AP I have is dual band, so it's just interesting how it happened to just do this with the 2.4 gig. And it's like G, G, G. It's not like AC or N or anything like that. That's also kind of interesting. So it doesn't answer anything yet, but I'm just making all these mental notes as you go through the troubleshooting process. Now we're going to check the access point. So I log in, I check the access point, check the status of the wireless network and the SSIDs, and it says, listen, I've only got one SSID in 2.4 gigahertz called 24 gigahertz and one in the 5 gigahertz range called 5 gigahertz. That's it. That's all I got. And if you take a look, obviously this MAC address is the same as the other ones, right? 3DC9, 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 so on and so on and so on. So now what? Well, as our good friends from the IT crowd say, have you tried turning it off and on? Tried turning it off and back on again? There, couldn't get it in one shot. Since this access point's been up over 2 years, maybe you just need to kick in the pants. Now, this is not a corporate high-end access point. It's your consumer-grade stuff. We all know every once in a while it just needs a reboot. Let's see what happens. So I thought I would do the remote reboot routine instead of physically pulling the power. So I went, logged in. There's the restart prompt. Hit apply. Problem solved. I cleared it. Now, a few things. I'm not going to leave it alone. I went back and checked. Were there any firmware or software updates? No. And I know it physically can't do that because I did not configure default gateway in that access point. I do that with a lot of my stuff, printers and whatever. If they don't need to get to the internet, I don't bother giving them a default gateway. So that way you don't get an auto update on a weekend or at 3 a.m. and it causes all sorts of stress. I did go to the vendor's website. I did check for this model of access point. There is no software firmware updates anyways, but just wanted to make sure. So I ruled that out. And then I started thinking, well, this access point's almost 10 years old. So I think it's time for a refresh. So let me know what you think. If you can recommend an access point for me, why not? Have a good day, folks. Bye for now.